Alright, so this is Higher Lyfe magazine coming to you with an interview with Flux Pavilion. So, who do you look up to outside of musicians?
Probably mainly kind of writers. I'm well into comic books, so people like Brandon Graham and James Stocko, kind of like more graphic novel types essentially. But yeah, any kind of comic related person. Grant Morrison, I don't know if you're into comics, but Grant Morrison's a writer. He's probably done the best written Batman series of all time. So yeah, he's awesome.
What plans do you have for this year?
Kind of touring pretty much. It's essentially my life is sort of on the road doing loads of shows. But yeah, just literally been talking about today, my next EP. I'm gonna definitely release a new EP this year.
Okay.
Maybe not 8 tracks, probably like 4 or 5 tracks, but yeah, I've been working on loads of new music, so I'm going to have another release this year.
What cities are you most excited to go to tour?
It's always different everywhere. Like we did a show like tonight, because it's a Circus like launch party tonight. It's been looking forward to this one so much. But like we did Buffalo, which is kind of like, Buffalo's never been a place I've been excited to go to. But the show was awesome, like the crowds and everything, like just the vibe there. One of the best shows that I've played this year, definitely. So I never really look forward to anything because you never know what to expect.
Alright, so we have a question from the viewers. What advice would you give to upcoming DJs or people who want to get into the EDM DJ business?
Enjoy it. Just enjoy it pretty much. Just do what you enjoy, do what you like to do, and it'll be fun. And it won't matter like what comes from it, because you enjoy it every moment pretty much.
Alright. So, what musicians would you most want to work with right at this very moment?
I think the main one is Julian Casablancas, the singer from Circus. I think he's the one guy that I really, as a vocalist, like, because he's done loads of kind of like semi-electronic stuff, like with his own solo career. I'd really like to do a track with him that's a lot more like full-on electronic, but with him as a singer. That'd be pretty cool.
Okay. So, what's it like to tour with Funkcase, Cookie Monster, and the other people touring with you?
Quite hungover a lot of the time. And yeah, the thing is, like, the label started off as just like a platform for us to just be able to release whatever music we want. Like me and Dr. P, the reason we kind of started it is so that no one was telling us what to do, because it's like, I can make some weird track, and if we both liked it, if everyone on the label liked it, we can release it. So we were signing people on that pretense of like, we love what you do, we want you to just do whatever you want, and then come with us. So it's more like a family than a label. So we all just become really good friends, because we're just all into the same stuff and into the same kind of ideas. So it's just like being travelling with a whole bunch of your mates. Really, it's awesome.
Must be fun.
It is good. Yeah. Hence the hangovers. Yeah.
Do you ever get nervous while you're on stage?
Not while I'm on stage. Normally before, if I ever was going to get nervous, it's normally like this. I'm on in half an hour, so it's kind of like the half an hour before. I'm never actually nervous, but it's like a general sense of unease.
So like pre-jitter, like.
You just can't. You can't relax because you're doing the opposite of that. You're kind of rolling yourself out. So I don't really get nervous anymore, but I always have this kind of general feeling like something's going to happen. You're sitting about, it's like something's about to go on. It's about to happen. But that is obviously about the better show.
So to this day, what's your favorite show you've done? Like where? Yeah.
I don't know. I've played a lot of shows. I think one of the most memorable ones is Red Rocks in Denver, because it's just like such a legendary venue. Have you ever been there? Have you ever seen Red Rocks?
I'm not actually.
It's kind of like it's like an amphitheatre. So the sort of the ground where the crowd is all kind of goes up, but it's in a mountain essentially. So there's this kind of mountain enclosure with all the crowds there. It's like about 8,000-9,000 people, and it's kind of like one of those really spiritual. Kind of like you go out there and like the energy is kind of tangible in a place like that, just because of like the history there. It's where like all the bands.
Good vibes spread around everywhere.
Yeah, it's just one of those kind of physical good vibe spots.
Good place to relax and enjoy the scenery.
Yeah, well it's just like it's not a place you expect to really play a show. Cool.
Is there anything you would do differently in your career right now?
Right now? I reckon. No, actually, I don't think so. I'm pretty happy here. It's awesome. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Shows are cool. Yeah.
Alright, so more random question. If you could go back in time to a certain period of time, where would you travel?
If I was to travel back in time, I think probably the Roman era.
Why is that?
It was pretty like a crazy kind of all the technological advancements in the Roman era was pretty
All
awesome.
the new things happening, all that.
Yeah, like roads. Roads didn't exist until the Romans came about. Imagine being in a place where there's no roads. They're like, oh, look, we've done this new thing. It's called a road. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, imagine it was kind of like, obviously now there's all these kind of advancements with technology, but I imagine back then it was a lot more baffling, if you know what I mean. Because now, like, oh, here's a new phone, it can do this. You're like, oh, I kind of expected that. But I don't think anyone expected roads. How can you expect anything like that? Do you know what I mean? I imagine it was quite magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just expect roads to be there. We don't appreciate how they came to be.
And if someone was like, oh, here's a new kind of road, we're like, oh yeah, we had roads, here's the new kind. But they had nothing. They had nothing but a kind of mud, but then here's some road, this new invention. That'd be pretty cool to experience that.
So, if you weren't a musician, what would you be and why?
Probably a chef of some sort, because I like cooking.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
The thing I'm best at cooking is breakfasts. So it's kind of like a real easy thing to cook, but I used to work in a cafe, so I used to be able to we'd get orders in, we'd have to cook like 12 breakfasts at once. But imagine there's 12, so that's essentially like 24 eggs, 24 pieces of bacon, 12 sausages, 24 pieces of toast, being all this stuff, you've got to cook it all at the same time. Plate it all up so it's all still hot and get it out there. And I used to really enjoy kind of like just doing it all. Yeah.
So you're good at curing hangovers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you ever been so moved by a movie or song that you cried? And if so, what was it?
It happens all the time. Do you know when you're on a plane, I think something to do with the pressure, you're more susceptible to emotion. So if you're going to watch even the crappiest film, it will make you cry on the plane. And I go on a lot of planes, so I watch a lot of crappy films. So yeah.
Just cry on airplanes. That's your thing.
Always crying. I think crying's really good. Crying's a good thing. I think it should be more like, it should be a masculine thing to do, a good cry. It's not, is it? It's like a very feminine kind of, the idea of crying is feminine.
Just let it out, a little refresh.
We should bring it back. I think if we can get like,
we should bring it back.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start crying.
We can cry back. If we can get crying in wrestling or something like that, so we can get it out there.
Get all the emotions out there.
Yeah, get it out there.
Yeah. So, this is my last question. Daft Punk recently said computers aren't really musical instruments and that they can't express themselves using a laptop. You also said you want to start branching out and start doing stuff like writing songs and guitar. Do you ever feel restricted using the computer to create music, especially in the EDM culture?
Nah, I actually don't. Because I write a lot of stuff on guitar and on piano, and I always have, that's kind of how I started. I started playing guitar, recording guitar, then playing Sims over the top of that. And then as time went on, I just stopped recording the guitar, and I thought, well, you know what, I can just do all this with Sims. And I do get the whole kind of vibe of, it can be real uninspiring to be sat there at a laptop with a blank screen in front of you. But it's all about what comes from the brain, I think, what comes from inspiration. And I think with the capabilities that you have, if you utilise it in the right way, and if you look at it the right way, to me it's like I've got all the instruments I can possibly need right there, as long as I kind of focus on it and sort of not sit there and get bored and just find new exciting things. I think it can really feel like, I kind of feel like I use the laptop as an instrument in a sense.
So, a way to freedom, like express yourself very...
Yeah, I think a lot of inspiration and that kind of stuff just comes from the brain, comes from the heart really, not from what you're using, if you know what I mean. And I can do that like on a laptop, pretty much. I've written a song on guitar, I felt really good about it. I've written a song in a little mini roll, I felt really good about it. And having sort of duplicate experiences with both live instrumentation and electronic, I essentially feel like electronic music is more free, you have more freedom to experiment, and it's all about experimentation.
Alright.
So I think it's a good thing, it's awesome.
Yeah. Alright, so we're here with Higher Lyfe, and we just finished our interview, and we can't wait to see his set right now. Alright.
Cool.
Yep.